Welcome, everyone, to District 38 Masterclass this evening. And tonight, we will be talking about FreeToastHost. Get the most from FreeToastHost, presented by Sue Brooks. Sue has been a Toastmaster since 2000 and has earned 2 DTMs, Distinguished Toastmaster Awards, in the traditional program and 1 in Pathways. She has completed 13 paths and uses FreeToastHost in 5 of her 6 Toastmaster clubs. In this interactive session, Sue will share ideas with you to navigate the FreeToastHost Club website as a member as well as an administrator. In tonight's session, you will learn best practices, tips, and techniques for navigating the FreeToastHost website, how to customize your homepage and meeting agendas, how to store documents files for members and guests for easy access, and how to use the FreeToastHost website to market your club to prospective members to attract guests to your meetings. Please help me welcome Sue Brooks.
Thank you for the warm welcome. And Golden, I'm grateful to be able to share this with District 38 tonight. Grateful to see you here, Art and Tamara. We should have a few other people joining us shortly. A few housekeeping rules before we get started with the actual show. You could raise your actual or your virtual hand using the reactions if you have a question. Art, you want to put yourself on mute so we don't hear the feedback until you have a question? That would be helpful. Thanks. You could type your questions in the chat and we'll be monitoring it. And I will pause for additional questions at select intervals during the workshop. And this presentation will be recorded for your convenience and shared by the district. As Ian stated, the things we'll learn are the best practices, tips, and techniques for navigating the FreeToastHost website. Art, if you could put yourself on mute. Thank you. We'll customize your homepage and meeting agendas, how to store document files for access, and to use the FreeToastHost website to market your club to prospective members to attract guests to your meeting. So let's get started. Some of the best practices, tips, and techniques. I've presented this session before in clubs and in district training, and they've been very different sizes. So as I've continued building this presentation, I've added more to it based on the length of time I've had and the content that people ask me to talk about. So navigating the FreeToastHost site. This particular club is a specialty club in District 46 in New York. And we use podcasting as a method of communication. So what do you have on your home page? You have your main menu on the left, and then you have your main page on the right. There, you can add information and graphics for your members and your guests. And we'll talk a little bit more about this for marketing. As you notice in the center between the main menu that comes up as a default when anybody visits your website, even if they're not logged in yet, and the members only section, in the center, there are 2 buttons that you'll see for member login and log in as site administrator. We'll start with the member login. When you invoke that, this is an enlargement so you could see what the page looks like. You'll be asked to enter your name and your email or your username, and then a password. If your first time using it, as long as the administrator has added you to the website, you need to set your password. So those bits of instructions are under the password field. Then you hit Authenticate Login. And you can add your name and your password. This will give you access to the site as a member. And this is what it looks like. The login changes to log out as your name, and you still have the option to log in as a site administrator. That's separate. And you could have both going at once, or one or the other. Under the members only section, you'll see things such as meeting agendas, a quick roll sign up, club email addresses, which is very important, editing your profile, which helps you let everybody in your club know about you, and then areas for member downloads. And underneath, the two sections in italics are hosted by FreeToastHost, where you can get support and information in various forums. I have those addresses in the information section at the very end, which I'll share with you. So here you're logged in and you go to your meeting agenda page. This one was from March 10th for our podcast club. You can include your mission, you could have a meeting theme, and if you'd like, you can add your Zoom link at the top, whatever it is you want to share about your meeting. You'll see underneath that the opportunity to view other agendas. You can list all the agendas that's in your FreeToastHost since history began, or your club's association with it. And then you can see a few icons. On a later screen, you will see additional icons. We have one for mailing the agenda, printing the agenda if people still print things, and then a calendar. In order to edit your meeting agenda, this role is useful for somebody who is either the Toastmaster or the Vice President Education. The edit meeting agenda is accessed using this pencil icon, two in from the right. And you can also see the additional icons we discussed. Third in from the left, you have a people icon. That'll allow you to see what roles people have taken or which role you have taken. In addition, there's a trash can. If you want to trash the agenda, if you created something you don't like it, in general, it's a good idea to keep your agendas. And then the plus at the very end on the right allows you to add new agendas. Something else that's really cool for attendance. This is very good for the secretary or whoever else keeps track of attendance. You as an individual can say whether you're yes attending, no, which doesn't allow you then to sign up for future roles for that date, or leave it as uncertain. As a club secretary in two of my clubs, I usually reconcile the agenda after the meeting takes place, so we know who actually attended the meeting. Next up, say you want to email this meeting agenda. Somebody asked that in the questions that were sent in. So you would like to email this, and what I recommend is you email it to yourself. You can email it to the entire club, but if you have a guest who would like the agenda, you can email it to yourself and then email it to your guests so they can have the most up-to-date information. This particular meeting agenda is for our Leaders Are Readers Club in District 119, where I met Tamara. And we're talking about a particular book. So this way people know, oh yeah, the book is Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which we'll be talking about tomorrow. So once you decide you're going to email this, in this drop down on the left, you could email it to all club members or just particular individuals that have officer assignments or whatever. You can have the replies go to you or somebody else. And then to customize what is sent with or without the agenda. And of course you want to, I don't know why you would want to send it without the agenda, but believe me, there's an option. You can choose to include photos, descriptions, however much or little you want to include when you generate the email, so that this way you have something to share with your guests. Back to the Podcast Pioneers Club. Somebody asked, how do you edit items on your meeting agenda? And this is enabled if you are the Toastmaster or the VPE and these things are set up with the membership management or the role player assignments. you can add something. You see the red item toward the first third down. And our past district director, Jan Paul, was saying, well, let's have some fun. Everybody in this club is advanced. We don't have too many ahs. So let's try a ha-ha counter. So yesterday at training, Jan Paul told us to add fun to our meetings and try a ha-ha counter. So you can have fun with it, or you can add something specific. If you have an educational presentation, you can add that as a line item. If you have something that we do in some of our advanced clubs, like round robin evaluations, you can add that, or anything else you want. You can then decide how many minutes you want to allot it to, and then if people could sign up for it, and various other attributes. Here, you have your roles on your agendas. Now you're in the editing mode. You're either the Toastmaster or you're the VPE. So all these are listed as unassigned. So nobody signed up for these roles except for me. And I blanked out the names of the people for privacy reasons. But what this is in the either a pop-up or a pop-down when you select unassigned, these are the names of the people in your club who are in the FreeToastHost website who've been added to the site and who've accepted participation. Over there on the left of this pop-up, pop-down, you can see how many times a particular person has taken on this role. Somebody's never taken it on. I guess it's a speaker role. Somebody's done it 18 times. I've done it 20 times or so. Some people have done it 9 times, 3 times. So we can really see the gamut of how many times these people have taken on the role. And bear in mind, some of the people just joined the club last year, and some of the people have been a member of the club for 8 years. So it's not that people are or are not participating. So then you could select a member. Okay, so then somebody selects themselves or someone else as a speaker. Oh, look, I want to do an education session. So what I did is I chose the path that I'm on. The default shows all the paths. You can close or expand them. And then you can scroll down and decide which project you're presenting at the moment. At the top, you could see, since it's an education session, that I've chosen prepare to speak professionally because they want me to speak for between 18 and 22 minutes. So it's longer than just a 5 to 7 minute speech. The next thing I did is I made sure that I entered the name of the project, Get the Most from FreeToastHost. This was the first time I presented it. And then I provided a brief introduction so the Toastmaster knows how to introduce me. So the members know what they're going to hear. Okay, so somebody has signed up as a speaker. It's my friend Ann Gilson, and I am going to be her evaluator. On the left-hand side, you could see the project description, but on the right-hand side, I can directly download the evaluation form right here from FreeToastHost now that she's entered the information. So this way, as her evaluator, I can prepare in advance. I can ask her any questions. For example, Anne, I see you're presenting speech number 1 from your high performance leadership. Is there anything particular in addition to the speech purpose that you'd like me to listen and look for so I can provide you with a comprehensive evaluation? We can then have a little conversation before the meeting begins. Does that make sense? Next. Oh, here we go. So say you have this current agenda, you want to say, wait, what's coming up and what did we do a few months ago? Let me check some of the older agendas. So you can pull down past agendas or future agendas if you want to sign up for something, or if somebody asked you to go in there and sign them up. There's another place toward the center here where you can list all agendas, and that's all the agendas that's built in to your FreeToastHost site since you started or since the club started using it. Something else I'd like to draw your attention to, which I find quite valuable, and that is at the very top of the meeting agenda page, you have your name. You can put whatever you want there, but most clubs choose to put the club name. But one of the things I found very valuable is put the club number there. How many times do you have to find out what is the club number? Let me go look it up. Wait, let me look in the notebook. Wait, let me look at my email signature. Wait, where is it? If you have it right in front of you, everybody will know what that club number is. Next up. Remember I discussed with you that little person icon? That is the roll report. As a club officer, you can run a roll report, or if you have access to the site as an administrator, or you as an individual can run your own report. What have I done? So when this club began using FreeToastHost, it was in August of 2021 when I signed up for a role, and then we took it out through November of 2021. So what did I do? Let's see, I was timer. At the time, I was a vice president membership, so I conducted member inductions to welcome our new members. I was a table topics master, general evaluator, counter, speech evaluator, Toastmaster, speaker, timer. Okay, so I've done quite a wide variety of roles. So this is helpful to share with people who might want to see if people are doing something or not doing something. Tamara, I see you have your hand raised.
Thank you so much. So I know that you aren't necessarily taking questions during, but
Yes, I
because
am.
my question is,
I am.
thank you. I love that so much. Thank you. My question is, I am a member of a club on FreeToastHost, but I don't know how to pull my role report for, let's say, leaders or readers. Would you be able to show me how to do that?
Yes.
Because I know you can pull it, but if you could guide me through that, I've never done it before and it would be really valuable for me.
Okay, we're going to go back to the person icon. If you're logged in as the VPE or the Toastmaster, or if you have global access, you can run these reports.
I got it. I'm good. I'm sorry. The person icon was not clear enough for me. I didn't realize that the little guy with the head. It makes perfect sense now. I'm sorry.
And from the left, no worries. And please, all of you, please continue to raise your actual or virtual hand or type questions in the chat. This was part of the introduction that I am taking questions throughout the duration of the presentation. This way you don't have to wait until the hour is over. Oh, I had something for Sue on slide 12, and now we're up to slide 48. So you get the drift. Yes, please continue to raise your hand. So something I found out, which was a big surprise and lots of fun. People who have admin access can create what are called custom pages. Here in this club, for what exit in District 83, someone created a custom page to link club status that's on Toastmasters International by clicking the third one up from the bottom. They also created a link to clubs by area and some other interesting custom pages. You don't have to have a huge tech background, and you don't even have to be brilliant, but I know all of you are.
Sue, Art had raised his hand.
Okay. We'll take Art's question in a second. So you can add custom pages, and this one has a link directly to the Toastmasters International site, so you can click on it and you can get your dashboard. So you don't have to log out, log back in. Art. Art, we're getting a huge amount of static. I don't know if there's something shut off or not, or maybe it might be more efficient if you type the question in the chat, and then Anne can read it out. This way I can help you with custom pages or anything else you had a question about. The static was kind of intense.
Yes, it was. If he could type it, that would be really helpful.
So take your time, type it, and I'm going to continue with the presentation. And if we want to view something specific, we can go back a few screens once you have it typed in. It's time for questions. Perfect. So we'll take Art's question unless Tamara has something else or Anne has something else in the meantime. Anne, you have your hand raised.
Oh, here's Mark. Back on number slides, you mentioned contacting a prepared speaker, but didn't mention the envelope icon to do so.
Oh, contacting the prepared speaker. I just know to contact the person who's in the club, but there are email addresses. I happen to know this person because she's a friend and she's also my mentor, but you can connect with anyone in your club because there is a private member directory. So once you're logged in as you, an individual, you don't even have to be an admin, you can find a email address for anybody. No, a prepared speaker didn't mention the envelope icon to do so. The envelope icon allows quick email contactability. Yes, that is true. Thank you. I did say you can email it to yourself, but yes, and I did mention you can email it to various other speakers. I said you can email it to a guest. So contacting a prepared speaker is one thing. The envelope icon's another way. So you can email that way. So there's lots of ways. So thank you for that, Arthur. You can use the email icon, as you mentioned, the envelope icon. You can go to your private member directory as well. I was just showing that example on how to contact the speaker that you're working with. So these are terrific questions.
Yes,
So,
and
yeah.
the envelope is there that it says that it's when you email the agenda to everyone, you can email it. You can select all club members, like you were telling us, Sue, up at the top when you went to that portion. But right, there's a drop down where you can just specify who you wish it to go to, as you know.
That is
And
correct.
then you can send it to people. You can just send it to people who don't have a meeting role rather than sending it to everybody.
That is
So,
correct. You can
right.
use it various kinds of contact based on who you want to speak to. So yes, you can be selective in how you use that email drop down. So thank you for those additions. So let's talk about admin. In the center, we had a choice of how you're going to log in. Since I'm logged in as an individual, it changes to log out, but I also have the opportunity to log in as site admin. I have credentials to log in as site admin in a couple of my clubs. So what does this look like? Your login as site administrator. You need to enter your club number. Oh, yes, what's my club number? That's why we like to have them at the very top of your website. This one I happen to know because I was one of the club sponsors. So I got to know that 7-digit number quite well. It's kind of like a phone number with 7 numbers, right? And then your admin password. Somebody had asked, should your admin password be the same as your password or your own password be the same as what you use on the TI site? I recommend having different logins and change them. Your site admin, you don't have to change too frequently, but you might want to change it each year based on who has access. And admin login should only be shared with a select few people. Not everybody should have global admin access, but at least 2 people should have the ability to be a site administrator and know the login. So once you log in as an admin, the logins panel changes, log out as an individual, log out as site admin, and your next opportunity is in the center to launch the admin console. There, you get to perform a variety of functions. And again, tonight's training is a basic training. We're not going to go into in-depth details for every single panel. And if you decide you still want more, contact Ann after the training, and we could perhaps set something up at another time, or you can contact me later on for more. So this is what the admin console looks like. As I stated, I'm not going to go down every drop down with select a module, and I'm not going to click on all these different tabs. But one of the things that I want to share with you, and this helps you with getting people to know about your club, is something that you can add in terms of keywords. Partway down on the page, you'll see a panel where you can enter keywords, something that makes your club special. Public speaking, okay, that's most of the clubs. Leadership, yeah. Toastmasters, good. Monmouth County, when we got set up, we were meeting in person. We were meeting in Tinton Falls, but now we're meeting online, and our membership's grown way beyond Monmouth County, New Jersey. So we want people to be able to find us if they're searching in a search engine. And you can add whatever else it is about your club using keywords. And then you can share your club website on social media. And that's another way to help market your club. Somebody asked about dues. Can the treasurer send a form directly from FreeToastHost to the members? Yes. I know we're all grateful that some clubs have invoked the opportunity to do self-pay from the Toastmasters International site, but some clubs may not have, or they might have club dues and they want this ability as well. So in this drop down, you have an opportunity to show website settings, member management, email and contact forms, custom web pages, which we spoke about earlier, a file manager, which I'll be discussing in a little while, meeting agenda settings, and dues management. So for the person who asked the treasurer question, yes, you can select dues management, which will help the treasurer send requests for payment and follow-up forms. And this is what it looks like. There's 4 different panels, but I'd like to show you dues follow-up. I didn't want to show any of the previous screens with these other tabs because it had proprietary personal information about various members. So these 4 different panels will help the treasurer with invoice settings, like how much you're going to ask them to pay, if it's just the fees, if it's club dues also. There's a preview of what your invoice will look like, and then the individuals can save their invoice, meaning, okay, this shows that I've paid it. And then information to track payment. If the treasurer needs to follow up, there's dues follow-up. So there's lots of options built right into FreeToastHost. Questions?
This is great, Sue. Giving me an in-depth view of how I can really utilize this site, because this is new to me. With recent clubs that I've joined in recent years that use FreeToastHost, because I was an Easy Speak mainly user And this is great information in helping me to navigate this site and learn different things. I've picked up some tips tonight that I didn't know. And you said you're going to go into the documents and how clubs can store their, so I'm waiting for that.
Yes, thank you so much, Ian. And Art, I was looking at your information in the chat. No different topic. Click the envelope next to the prepared speaker to contact just that person. Thank you. Yes, that's another way to speak to people and get in touch. You have templates set up to bother prepared speakers to fill in their info. And yes, that would be terrific for everybody in this session to be able to observe. This is great information sharing. Continue to ask the questions, to share your tidbits so we can all continue to learn. All right. Any other questions? All right. I'm going to move on to another section, something that Anne was talking about. Marketing your club. And then the part after that goes into the forms. So everybody likes to get more new members to their club. I know I do. And I know the rest of you do too. So what can you do? Approximately 2/3 down in the members only menu, there's something called a private member directory, which will be populated by anybody who edits their profile and adds information. By default, the name of the member is in there, but it doesn't necessarily come with a photo until somebody adds it. So when you select edit your profile, what you're doing is helping your own club members know a bit more about you, which is terrific for networking. And it also highlights your accomplishments, but it can also help market your club. If somebody's searching for your club and you make your profile public, you can choose to keep it private so only your club members can see it, or you can choose to make it public so even guests can see a bit about you. Only put in there things that you're comfortable sharing, but if you want to make it public, it's a great marketing tool. Say I wanted to find out more about the Leaders of Readers Club, and I've populated my bio, Tamara's populated hers. Oh my gosh, look, all these cool people in this club. I want to get to know them. And I'm a reader, so maybe I should visit their club. You get the drift. So you can edit your profile, you can put in basic information, email settings, social links, and you can add a certain number of characters. You can say a little bit about yourself as a Toastmaster, as a leader, and excuse me, a bit about your personal life and your professional life if you're still working. You have a chance to upload a photo. What happens next? This is a snippet of one of our clubs. This is the last part of the alphabet. So you'll see a Sue, a Susan, and a Teresa. It goes alpha by first name. So let's see some differences in the different profiles. I'm a member of this club. I added my brief bio. I let people know about my leadership, how many paths I've completed, and then I have a little bit of information in my professional life and my personal life. I've also added some social icons if people want to connect with me on Facebook, LinkedIn, and I have a couple of different Instagram accounts. Next down the line, Susan added a little bit about herself. This was captured when Twitter was still Twitter and not X. So you see that icon, and LinkedIn. Teresa's a member, but she hasn't added any biographical information, but all three people have added their photo. So people know what these people look like. And Elios, very happy to see you. If you have questions, you could raise your actual or virtual hand. We have about just a little less than a half hour left of the presentation, and we're grateful you could join us. So more on marketing your club. This particular club in District 83, Ann and I are members of. We have the name of the club, we have the number at the top, and this is housed in the main menu. This is available to the public under About Our Club. This is about halfway down in the main menu. And the name of the page is about our club. So we have straight out of Jersey, we use the state joke in our club name. And then there's a little bit of a history about how the founders decided to call it What Exit. So a little bit about the history, where the members are located, and the fact that we have fun, and the numbers and kinds of people who we have as part of our membership. So it's a lot of fun, and we're way beyond What Exit because some of our members are now calling in from India. So it's lots of fun. So this is interesting because you can say whatever it is about your club, not just where you meet and when you meet and how to get the Zoom link. And we're up to the part that you were curious about, and that is downloads for guests and downloads for members. In the main menu, partway down, there's a section called Public Downloads. This is available to any of your guests. So you can use what comes along with the site, which are things that are built-in defaults from Toastmasters International. But you can also add customized things that you would like your guests to see about your club. For example, read first. Welcome to Toastmasters and What Exit? What Exit membership application? Why you should join Toastmasters? All of these things. I remember a few years ago, there was a young lady who was trying to complete a high performance leadership project. And for her project, she decided to create the online guest packet. So she went through all of these files, made sure they were what we wanted to share, and then created the custom files to include for our guests. Routinely, the club officers can go back and check to see if they are still valid or if they need to be uploaded or updated. For the defaults that come from Toastmasters International, you have the option to keep them or turn them off. You're not getting rid of them, you're just turning them off. So X or no X. So what about your members? There's more things for members, and you'll be able to do the same thing by adding things for your members. More questions?
Okay, Sue, Art had a couple comments in chat if you want to take a look at that.
Yes. This is a custom page. Yes.
Right,
88 South, 90 North of me in Bricktown. Love it, love it. Okay, so we're not too far from each other. Very cool. Thank you so much for letting us know what exit you are. See, all this serves to create community, because we're not just a club, we are a community. Anyone else?
and Art also said that all members should be encouraged to complete their profiles and to make it public, to share the club demographics with website visitors, and all officers should do so as well. Yes,
Yes.
right, we encourage that
Yes,
very
we do.
much so.
Anyone else? Elios, I know you just joined us. Do you have anything in particular you'd like to ask? We'll be happy to take your questions. If you don't have anything right now, think of anything you'd like to learn and we'll address it.
Said not yet.
Okay, whoops, sorry about that. Customize your homepage and meeting agendas. This is a lot of fun, and this also can help with marketing. This can help for your members as well as your guests. We'll take a look at a couple of specialty clubs and see what they've been doing. The one Tamara and I are members of. Leaders are readers. We have Toastmaster Club and we have the number at the very top. This particular club is a regular Toastmaster club, but it's a specialty club. This is terrific for people who love to read and to talk about books and different ideas. At the time when we captured the screenshot, we were in between our March and April information. So what we did was we told people that our next meeting was going to take place on March 27th. We were going to be discussing The Judge's List by John Grisham. But since we also already selected our April book, we showed everybody a cover of this book and we named that it's Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. So tomorrow at our club meeting, we will be discussing the first half of Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, and we'll be selecting our May book. So this way, people visiting the site, even if they're not a member, they can see what this club is all about. And again, Podcast Pioneers is another specialty club. We talk about podcasting, how to build a podcast. So the graphic invites people to understand what this club is all about. What exit? We talked before about the funny joke, and we discuss how life is a highway where you could go, depends on what exit you take, and talks about the age requirement, that we are a community club, and so it's not necessary that people have experience. And we talk about communication, leadership, and we're very big on networking. So here's another something we were talking about, Ian, to how to store document files for easy access. And this is particular for your members. There was another, it was not yet, okay. So once you're logged in as a member, this is very different than the public downloads that we talked about earlier for visitors, guests. Members have access to this under members only, with downloads accessible only to members. Earlier, we talked about the young lady who created the guest packet for her high performance leadership project. And at the same time, another young lady created a membership packet for What Exit. So we had the features and benefits. So once you are a Toastmaster, once you've joined, you paid your dues, somebody entered your name into the FreeToastHost membership panel, and you accepted, all these other documents become available to you, which you could read at your leisure. There's information about why you need to look at this, welcome to Toastmasters, and gives you information facts for first timers. So you can then download the things that are meaningful to you. You could look and see a sample meeting agenda and more. But there's more. At the bottom, you could see some things that look like meeting minutes. And this is a particularly useful place for officers or anyone, but particularly for officers, to store documents that are valuable to your history. For example, a secretary might upload the meeting minutes for the club if they do it that way, or for their officer meetings. All the information's public. This is a great repository if you want to go back to something you may have discussed a few meetings ago, but you weren't sure. How did we leave off on that? Did we need to go back and still talk about it? Do we need to bring this up again? Did we ever have that situation before? What do we do if somebody passes away? Do we have a procedure or a policy on sending bereavement gifts? So here is your place to store your files. These happen to be not very large files, so you can continue to upload as many as you want. There is a limit on a file size. I don't remember it off the top of my head, but these don't look like they are very large files. But again, use FreeToastHost to your advantage. So you can store documents. Elios, you're coming in from Indonesia. So grateful. See, it's universal. Okay, questions? Again, you can raise your hand, actual hand, virtual hand, or type something in the chat. So we've come to the end of our presentation and we're coming up on the end of the presentation time allotted for today. Think about if there's one thing that you would like to bring back to your club or clubs as a result of today's training. And you can place your responses in the chat. So as you're typing, I'll continue to give you some more information. I will be placing this information in the chat so you don't have to worry about taking a screen snap or getting your website links. I'd like to invite you to contact me after tonight's presentation if you think of something that you would like to go over, if you'd like to connect professionally or through Toastmasters, if we're not already connected. You can reach me via email. If you think of a FreeToastHost question that you'd like to share afterwards, we can go into more detail. Also, if you've enjoyed tonight's presentation and you wanted more things that we didn't have a chance to go through tonight, let Ann Golden know, and perhaps if there's enough of a demand, we can create additional presentations for District 38 at another time. You can connect with me via LinkedIn. Also, as I mentioned at the beginning of the presentation, FreeToastHost has built-in support documents on the left-hand margin toward the bottom, FreeToastHost website support, and there are also forums where you could ask questions. So I'll be placing that in the chat after I stop sharing. And I want to thank you so much for allowing me the opportunity to present this as part of District 38. And let's see what people said that was important to them. I now know how to find my past meeting roles. I love the customized page about us to market the club. I'm going to consider reintroducing the listener role to my home club. It is a good role that helps keep members engaged, and everybody has a lot of fun with that. You could really see people smile, and it really asks them to think about what they're hearing, and everybody has tons of fun. The online documents are rather comprehensive, so go there for answers to most questions. Thank you. This is great stuff. I'm going to return control to Ann and for closing remarks, and I will share the information that I said I would provide for you. Over to you, Ann Golden.
Thank you, Sue. Let's hear it up for Sue for a very in-depth beginner look at FreeToastHost and how we can use that site. Want to congratulate her, but I do want to go back to Art, if I may, and if you can show us those templates that you set up to bother the speakers. I love that. I love that idea. If you could share. Okay, okay, so your sound is really horrible. I don't know what your connection is. You can screen share if you want, but we really can't hear you.
Elios put in some greetings and tips and techniques.
He's going to show us.
Thank you.
This was an awesome presentation by Sue. I learned so much tonight.
Thank you so much, Ann.
Okay. Oh, okay. Right from the menu. Okay. I see. And then you need the email trim. Okay. And what do you have?
Also, Elios, while Art is sharing, Anne had mentioned that this presentation is being recorded and this will be uploaded to the District 38 website. So since you came in during the time when the meeting had already, or the presentation had already started, you can go back after it's uploaded to the website and see it in its entirety for more tips and tricks and techniques.
Yes, and I send that out. I send the link out to everybody via email. You will be receiving that.
Thank you, Anne.
All right. Art, you're gonna have to come back and follow up and show us this. When you have your voice. Cool. Yes. To show us how we can create those templates. I think we would all love to learn that. But Sue,
What are you doing now?
your vocal is really cracking up. We can't understand you. But I want to thank Sue again. This was an awesome presentation. I learned a lot being an initial user of FreeToastHost, and the video will be out there on the Zoom District 38 YouTube. I'm going to stop the recording.